Hallo Leute, herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Video auf meinem Kanal. Ich habe mir gedacht, ich will wieder ein bisschen Space Pirates and Zombies 2, da ich das eh schon lange aufgenommen habe und auch schon länger aus das ein Video gemacht habe. Ich bin jetzt, also ich mache eine Zeit.
I'm quite pleased everyone was able to pull it together during these rough times.
Ich muss euch, das ist schon die Mission, dass ich mich für eine Faction anschließe. Egal, ich würde sagen, in der letzten Zeit habe ich habe schon Zeit gehabt, Aufnahmen zu machen, aber keinen Bock gehabt. Und auch manchmal auch keine Zeit gehabt, weil ich arbeite gerade an einem kleinen Projekt, das ist nicht groß, wird vielleicht oder wahrscheinlich eigentlich nie fertig werden, so wie meine 10.000 anderen Projekte und ja. Na, vielleicht interessiert es euch, was ich mache. Ich arbeite an einem kleinen, scheiße Mann, ein kleinen Modding-Tool für Software Incorporation und für H214 und vielleicht noch ein paar andere Spiele. Und ja, hey, was ist das?
At long last we have finally arrived. The scanning may commence. Let me get my magnetic alternating dingle arm connected to the perforated relay LATs.
Uploading to database. Injecting worm. Searching for keyword infection. Licking. 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 Tastes bad. 101 matches found. Narrowing. Narrowing. Analyzing. This thing on my neck is about to rupture. Next. If you cook it long enough, it might be safe.
2000 Jahre später.
Next. This is what you get for opening every piece of email. Next. Anomalous space-borne biological replication found at the following coordinates.
Jawohl.
There. That one. That sounds like a sticky. Let's plot it in and get over there.
Look, Elsa, I'm not trying to step on your toes here, but this is a pretty weak lead. We haven't seen any infected for over 2 years now. There's nothing out there. We beat this thing.
It's my responsibility to make sure. A clean sweep is the only way, and that takes time. I've patiently humored you while you polished your pistol, but it's time to follow my orders for once. If you don't like it, you can let yourself out at the next rock.
I hope we find something positively juicy. Analyzing these typical caper life forms.
Okay, wir gucken soll es gucken, da wurde angeblich das Virus gefunden, was Maschinen und so weiter auch zu Zombies macht. Ja, wir werden wahrscheinlich haben wir für jetzt mal 800, vielleicht können wir da was Gutes kaufen. Egal, haben wir uns nochmal die Lore einfach. Okay, was haben wir da?
When the outbreak first began, few took it seriously. Rumors of ships, covered in twisted flesh and wire, grew more distorted as they passed from one storyteller to another. The UTA, being preoccupied with the lockdown wars, ignored reports of yet another pandemic. By the time it was serious enough to warrant attention, quarantine was impossible. With extermination still being a valid option, the UTA began reinforcing the warp gates leading to infected regions. Regardless of signs of infection, outgoing ships were simply destroyed from a distance. Within months, the UTA lost nearly 100 trade ships, destroyed by the marshals that guarded the quarantine gates. As the odd ship was able to sneak past, the UTA had to continuously step back its front line. Out of desperation, the entire inner world galactic quadrant was quarantined from the outer worlds, through the use of high-security Titan gates. The UTA continued to fight a bloody and secret war with the infection for nearly 200 years. It was not until after the entire confrontation did the outer worlds become aware such a war had even occurred.
Okay, jetzt haben wir das Schiff um. Mit dem Minigun. So, einfach hier hin. Und hier um die Minigun, das halt gleich abfahren kann. Das Park genau hier hin, wo der Platz ist. Und jetzt fahren wir gleich mal zu dem Dings hin. Und da ist noch mit dem Stärkeren. Oh, du willst nichts. Jetzt seht ihr schon meine kleinen 2 Zimmerbars. Muss nicht zwei sein. Ah da, na, ist eine Rakete. Ah, und zerstört. Schnell, 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 schnell. Ne, wir kommen hier noch schnell genug drauf. Und zerstört. Easy win.
2000 Jahre später.
Da ist Bradsfield.
Battle mode activated.
Oh
By
shit.
the endless void in a chicken basket. Look at how the infection has replicated itself on inanimate material like that. I am going to disable the ship's weapon systems, so you trigger-tickling simpletons do not obliterate this precious sample opportunity for me.
Carl, I'm going to rip your tin head clean off. Turn the weapons back on this instant, or so help me, I will kill you twice over.
What kind of buffoon do you take me for? These samples are totally dormant, even with all this nearby transport traffic. As much as I despise concurring with Admiral Patches, he does have a point. The Dark Puppeteer has been long since destroyed. There is less than absolute zero risk to the ship. Now please, lay in a course next to the infected asteroid so I can perform a battery of scans.
Na gut, dass ich hier Verteidigungsdingsums habe.
Me right in the aft. I am so sick and tired of being chronically correct. Carl. Weapons. Now.
This makes empty sense. It is reacting to our presence somehow, despite being absent of any neurological activity. A dozen ships have passed through this region. How do we differ? There must be some sort of catalyst for this reaction.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Weapon access code accepted.
Not even an idiot would put the password on his luggage. Thankfully. Carl, you are a very brave idiot. Elsa, we are weapons free. Transferring power. Acquiring targets now.
No.
I want everything within a parsec of here to be rendered to dust. Destroy anything that moves. Use the ship itself if you have...
Du musst ja das Ding so schnell wie möglich zerstören. Das mit dem Ding kommt die scheiß Russen auf und werden von gesteuert von den Zweigreifen. Ohne bekommen massiven Schaden.
Shield up.
Oh, das ist sogar stärkere Schiffe dabei. Und jetzt uns auch die und ich kann auch bewegen. Und wie es aussieht, es wird erst nein, das ist solche Dinge, die langsamer machen. Oh, fuck, komm, voll der Damage. Rein. Vielleicht konntest du ihn ausschalten. Deine Kollegen getroffen. Zerstören, gut, jetzt noch nachladen. Und ich schon wieder Schiff. Fuck, Alter. Weg, ciao. Fuck. Okay, jetzt muss ich schnell das Dings boosten. Oh fuck, ist eine meine Teile. Verfickte Scheiße. Okay. Okay, jetzt beschießen das Ding hier. Hallo. Hallo. Nein. Glück gehabt, der Hund hat ihn aktiviert. Jetzt zerstört. schon. Digga, muss mich verarschen. Ich bin zerstört. Gut. Und alle Feinde
Carl,
getötet.
do you have even the slightest clue of the privilege I have bestowed upon you, allowing you to exist aboard my ship, under my order? If only I didn't need someone that knew anything about the infection. Oh, what is the point? I guess this is all my fault for letting you off the leash. You know, I really was starting to think we were finally past all this apocalyptic insanity. Why now, after years of no contamination? Why here? Why ever so perfectly orchestrated for our arrival? This just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, maybe not the best place for the conversation. Let's be sure we only make one mistake here today. Helm, take us out of here.
Das ist irgendwie so deprimierend oder keine Ahnung. Und dem eine Errungenschaft
Judging by the
freigeschaltet.
expression on your faces, it would appear that I am about to be the recipient of some violence. It should be noted, however, that this all may be an emotional overreaction to a threat now nullified by the ship's ordinance. That may very well have been the last we see of the infection. It is to be expected we would find some lingering residue eventually.
Residue. So what now? Just forget it all happened? Sure, I was wrong thinking the infection was over with, but now we know otherwise. That fault is on me, my bad. But are we supposed to forget that you castrated the ship to satisfy your own interest? Carl, you have admiration for this filth, and I'd say the thing feels the same way about you. Why else did it react the way it did? For all we know, you've been corrupted already. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You are a liability, and you're going to get us all killed.
That's enough. Ambient babysitting is one thing, but I won't have you all disemboweling each other at a time like this. Get along. That's an order. Carl, you have your samples. I want to know what we are dealing with. Find me some answers. Jason, I need you to start prepping the mothership for war.
If it took us this long to find an infection candidate, how long do you think it will take to find the next one? We just don't have the manpower to scrub the galaxy clean of infection. Elsa, if we really want to make some progress, we need some allies we can delegate to.
Great. I know where this is going. I was hoping we could steer clear of this childish faction feud. One UTA was bad enough. Now we have half a dozen sides to this bloody war, not including our sticky problem.
I'm not one to get involved in politics either, but our backs are up against the hull. We're going to have to pick a side and play nice for the time being. We hacking for leads is no way to fight a war.
Okay, so irgendwie Faction finden. Und wir machen noch die Lore und dann weiter das Video beenden, was eh schon über 20 Minuten lang ist.
Elsa was born and raised on Earth, which happened to be one of the last worlds to come under UTA control during the Lockdown Wars. Her and her father were recruited by the UTA to mine the Sol system for what little res it had. When her father died, she became aimless and resentful. Eventually, she was befriended by Don Gibson, the leader of the growing UTA resistance. Saving her from eventual starvation, she was fiercely loyal to Don, and became second in command of the renegade fleet. Despite her troubled past, she had always managed to stay light-hearted and governed by strong morals. She was devastated to discover Don had been under the influence by the infection. Enraged, she took control of the Clockwork and crew to hunt down Don and destroy the dark entity. Having eventually satisfied that goal, she has now grown cold and nearly unrecognizable by her fellow crewmates. Driven aimlessly by guilt, she commands the surviving crew of the Clockwork on an endless mission to cleanse the last of the infection.
Ja Leute, danke fürs Zusehen und wir sehen bis nächstes Mal. Ciao Leute!